know, redeem themselves. They've had so many moments throughout the weekend where things just did not look in their favor, but now they have the opportunity to change that story a little bit here in our second semifinal.
And already a little bit of trickery coming out. TSM trying to get the first one on the board. Dignitas not going to be falling for it though. And trying to head this back the other way already. It's going to be Dig Evo up high off the backboard, looking for the center. It is there, but Wavy able to contest and send this one out. Demo coming out as well. It's going to help TSM's troubles, and maybe he might be able to get some offensive pressure for the first time here. And doesn't look like that's going to be the case just quite yet. Dignitas doing a solid job for sure.
Oh yes, Dignitas definitely being able to hold TSM back for as long as they have. I know 45 seconds for some people isn't really a lot, but honestly, again, after the matchup that they had the other day, that is a huge feat. But TSM really have just come out swinging. This is the second time we've seen them take a quick shot towards that net that barely just went off. This one isn't going to go off though. It's going to go crossbar and in from Creams.
And the other thing that we do need to point out is TSM has not lost a game in this tournament. They are 6-0. They swept Dignitas, and then they swept Nick on Aura, and a lot of people did not see either one of those sweeps coming. So the fact that, you know, they were able to really turn some heads and haven't dropped the game right now, I'll say that TSM are the favorites heading into this match, simply because they have been putting on a show in this Community Cup so far.
I definitely agree with that one, and a lot of people are going to say that that's a hot take, especially against a team like Dignitas. But on paper, TSM, they really are the favorites in this matchup right now. It's all on Dignitas to really get back into. You saw Evo try to get a little setup there, no quick follow-up to come through, but same can't quite be said for TSM. They've done a great job of staying fairly close to each other. Evo's going to take a shot double to keep this one out. Wavy credited with the save, though. Around the corner, Creams, enough boost in the tank, tries to take this one down. Hockey to help him with the clear. And I like what I'm seeing from TSM, very reminiscent of yesterday's match against Dignitas, just in your face, show no mercy kind of energy.
Yeah, Stizzy getting the cleanup though off the pass from Arsenal. Stizzy left it up for Arsenal. Arsenal said, cool, I'll take this one off the backboard, get the center, and boom, Stizzy able to clutch up. Gets the equalizer, and we got ourselves a tie game. That's what you love to see from these squads, a little bit of fight back.
Yes, that's exactly what you want. Honestly, I literally made mention to the, like, in-your-face, take no names kind of thing, right? And then Dignitas turn around and do exactly that. And honestly, that's what it's going to take to stop TSM and slow them down a little bit here. They've been missing that energy and that vibe, but they seem to be a lot more into it today. Things going a lot smoother for Dignitas as well as Fizzy takes this around the corner. Evo wanted to open up a little path, instead just went to the other end of the field, kept this possession in favor of Dig. And as you approach second half of the game here, it's even playing ground, tied game all the way around.
Wavy with the pass in the middle. Arsenal gonna break that attempt up, break up the second as well. Arsenal with a couple of solid stops, keep TSM off the board. For now, oh man, that was dangerous for sure. Dignitas almost able to get another. And yet again, TSM are just holding strong on the defensive end. So a lot of clutch defensive plays coming out for both squads right now. But as I say that, Creams finds the seam in the defense, and Dignitas fall behind 2-1.
I got it. This is a full team thing as well. It started out with Hockey air dribbling it into that TSM side, and then you saw Wavy get the setup from the sidewall, and Creams with the finish. TSM up by 1. Again, like I said, this is very reminiscent of yesterday, but Arsenal bump play off, gives Evo the opportunity to quickly respond for Dignitas.
Yeah, Dignitas, you know, already off to a much more confident start than they had yesterday against this same roster, and that's what you want from them, is to really come out and really play like yesterday didn't happen. They need to play like they didn't play TSM and get shut out by them at all yesterday. And that's what they're doing, is they're putting their best foot forward. They do look like a different team than we saw play against them yesterday.
Yes, they definitely do, and that's a good thing. You know, you can't come in here scared or even confused by any means, which I didn't expect them to at all. I expected Dignitas to come in with a little bit of, you know, like a chip on their shoulder kind of feel to their play style, and that's kind of what we've been getting from them. They are a little bit more patient and methodical with what they're doing. It's a little bit of an awkward flick there, going to turn into a quick counter. Thankfully, Arsenal's there with the bailout. But Dignitas, it is feeling like they are definitely matching TSM way better than they did yesterday. Just unfortunately for them, TSM do still feel like they are slightly a step above, and this is why Wavy able to solo play out the defense here. He catches it, and it's just a quick turnaround onto Arsenal. Great placement all the way around.
Arsenal couldn't read it, and it was a hard one to read. Could have went left, right, center, and Wavy finds the slot to be able to put that one in, and now TSM find themselves with a minute left in control, looking to get in control of this series as well. And I will say that, you know, already a better start for Dignitas, like we stated. But it doesn't matter if you go down 0-1 in the series. It's still going to be TSM that are going to have that momentum on their side, that are going to sit here and say, you know what, we still haven't dropped a game in this tournament. It's up to Dignitas to take the first one off of them. It's not going to happen just quite yet, as another save coming through from Hockey.
And I do got to give it up to TSM, and a lot of these prominent org rosters in these off-season, there is a chip on every single one of their shoulders to really perform in any event where they have the opportunity to kind of redeem themselves from the on-season here. So that's kind of where a lot of the TSM motivation is coming from. I know Dignitas got to compete a lot of those qualifiers, but TSM definitely fell short from how they wanted to perform before, but they are not doing that here.
TSM pick up the win.
Catch up, having to equalize off of what TSM just continued to do over and over again. And now you head into game number 2, and TSM, they're just going to get right back into what they were doing before. Creams wins his 50 off 1, Evo to send off, but Dignitas really got to work on trying to be the first to get that lead and build off it. Stizzy's going to try to do it, but he doesn't make the angle, and he made me lose my words on it too.
So close, but yet so far. Stizzy almost able to do it. The 80 to 90 ping is not affecting him at all. We haven't even brought it up really because, I mean, the way that he's been playing so far, it doesn't feel like it's been affecting his dig roster whatsoever. I mean, he's been clutching up on the defensive end with some nice saves, as well as the offensive end, getting a couple of putbacks as well. So big props to Stizzy for showing out and showing up here for Dig. At the end of the day, they still find themselves in that deficit in this series, needing to come back, and they got to score in order for that to happen. And right now, TSM are being extremely good on the defensive end.
They really are. They've fended off everything that Dignitas has thrown their way, but same can be said for Dig. TSM have put some fairly quality shots on target already that Dignitas have had to defend multiple times at this point. And so now some demos, bumps, a passing play completely denied in its tracks with the double demo there from Dignitas. And that should have been a moment where they were able to transition out of their own half, but instead they still continue to get stuck in the mid. This is one of the better clears there from Arsenal off the backboard, but no space to follow. And that's really what's missing, those close follow-ups from Dignitas. It is allowed a couple moments that really should have been scoring opportunities completely go wayside.
And you got to make the most out of every single one of them. Evo sends it to the corner, might be able to get the center. No, Wavy needs to read this one correct. Not going to get the chance as Arsenal looks for the double off the side. Not going to be there. Hockey heading back the other way now, looking to get the clear. Not able to do that as Stizzy meets him at the 50. And Stizzy squeezes it by. Oh my goodness, Creams almost able to save the day yet again. Actually does save the day for his squad, keeping that shot from Stizzy out. And that right there was about as close of a call as you can get.
Stizzy and Net trying to keep a path open for his teammates. Instead, a big clear for TSM. Wavy bumped off the play here. 1v1 onto Creams. His 50 wins in favor, though, and Hockey's going to take that mid boost and control just slightly as Evo. This one fell into his hands there. He was up next in rotation to keep that play going. TSM run away with this. Low on boost. Drive forward. You see all the players lurking, but Creams understood. He overcommitted just a little bit there, and it started to get quite dangerous in the race back. Not too bad. TSM, though, and Dignitas, no one has been able to find their way through in this game number 2 here. So much closer than what we saw before, and a lot of that due, in fact, to Dignitas playing a much better defensive game than they did in game 1.
This game is more neck and neck than an Alpha Cap stream right now. 2 minutes left in this one. Wavy looking for the shot, not able to get it as Arsenal saves this one away. Solid defense from Dignitas holds yet again. And they have to watch out for these counterattacks because Evo, he's looking to make the most of it, and he does. Dignitas fight back.
They do. You saw Evo all the way from one end to the other. It's just a 1v1 and a nasty side flip into that. Dignitas finally take their first opening lead here towards the very later half of this game 2, and this is a very important moment for them to be able to hold on to this 1-goal lead. Could end it all for TSM, but TSM aren't going to be stopped that easy. Wavy clears out in the orange side here. Evo takes it away. Stizzy's up next, but a lot of their touches continue to fall back in that dig half, which allows TSM the opportunity to take so many shots, and unfortunately for them, Dignitas completely crumble at the pressure here.
Crumbling at the worst time possible. Still a minute 22 left on the clock. If Dig want to go ahead and be victorious in this one, but giving up that goal is definitely going to hurt. TSM now with a little bit of a chance, an opportunity. Creams up high. Can he get this one redirected? No, as Dignitas send this one wayward. Hockey absolutely taken out, but Creams gets a little bit of revenge on Arsenal. Now off the backboard, this one's dangerous. End against the crossbar. That could have been spooky right there for Dig, but the clear comes through.
Less than a minute to go. Dignitas going to try and steal that lead, but same for TSM. Creams tries to spot Wavy here. He does. He doesn't have enough boost to make another touch on it, so Hockey's up next in rotation to keep this play going. Back pass to Creams. He's got enough boost to take this to the air. Reset. Air dribble. Tries to go for the dunk. It's down. The follow, though, is through from Wavy. Wavy has been so crucial in so many moments for TSM, and this is just another one in the books.
He's been the one to get a couple of goals now when the score has been deadlocked, and right now Wavy doing a solid job for TSM all around the board, defensively, offensively, and being that player to step up and really clutch up when TSM need it. They're trying to go up 2-0 in this series. They're 24 seconds away from it happening. Another clear for Dignitas. It's going to be stopping this offensive pressure from TSM dead in its tracks.
Here comes Wavy again. Great stop there from Arsenal, but Hockey just really forcing this ball through. Dignitas need to clear. They are going to get one. Low on boost, though, and a demo from Wavy stops Dignitas in their tracks. They're trying to spot each other, but this ball gets killed. TSM take game number 2. Almost by this for the first time, not only in this season, but in history. Not even a previous TSM roster has ever swept a Dignitas team. So definitely history being made. This roster, they want to do it again here in a best of 7 if possible. But Stizzy gonna try and stop it if he's got any say in that.
As the shot was on target, but sent to the side yet again by TSM, who might have to do it again here as Dignitas doing a nice job of pressuring. Nothing quite yet gonna come of it. Creams now heading back the other way. Tried to get the center. Wasn't there. Now Hockey up high. Keeping this pressure onto Dig. Giving themselves a chance now as this one does get centered. Arsenal's there, though. Doesn't get much on the clear, but it should be enough to at least make TSM have to restart over.
Yeah, 45 seconds into this one, TSM really, it's looking a little bit different. Dignitas is trying to close that gap, and Stizzy's been able to find his way through the defense a multitude of times, which is not a good sign for TSM. And again, if you missed it, Dignitas took the timeout, trying to reset themselves in this series as a whole, because if TSM take this win, they take match point, and then you're in reverse sweep territory if you're Dignitas.
Right now, Evo is back lurking for Dignitas, and I think that Dignitas, anytime that you have a player that might have a little bit of a connection issue, things like that, it is smarter to play defensive and wait for those counterattack plays rather than trying to go for those super flashy plays on the offensive end. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's definitely the better strategy for Dignitas in this situation.
I mean, definitely is what you would think, but Stizzy is still going to try and force himself to go make those solo plays and everything. But yes, for the majority of the time, you probably are going to see him lurking back just a little bit, but I don't think they're going to hard, change any rotations or by any means. But Arsenal's going to try and do something by himself here. Hockey sends it off. Stizzy up next. Very little boost to work with, though. But yes, you're definitely right. If you are playing with a player on such high ping, you might take that into account, but I feel like Dignitas are playing as if it's completely normal.
Yeah, I mean, they truly are. And honestly, until I'd been reminded about it, I'd completely forgot because Stizzy has been the player that's been getting the clutch goals for this Dignitas roster and things like that. So honestly, I hadn't even noticed. Like you stated, it hasn't really affected much, and that's what you want to see in a squad like Dig. We're trying to fight back in the series and avoid that 0-3 deficit because you do not want to be in reverse sweep territory, but Wavy might be solidifying that here and now.
Oh man, look at this. The demo comes through and then Creams goes for the bump on Arsenal. It's wide open net. I mean, I love this from TSM. I mean, if you're gonna try and take that lead, you do everything in your power to make it possible, right? So TSM giving no respect to Dignitas. A flick from Creams. This one doesn't go in, but it still looks like a threat nonetheless. Wavy off the backboard, not close enough to make it a double there, but Dignitas really boxed into their own half, forced to just play heavy defense and hope that they can clear out and get a breath of relief.
And right now, a little bit of breath for this Dignitas roster. They're able to get the clear here. Stizzy getting it past one. The bump was there as well, but it didn't connect for long, so Hockey was able to get free, still get the save here. And if TSM can get this one back onto the Dignitas half to get some decent pressure, maybe they'll be able to extend this lead that they find themselves having, but Arsenal in the mid is going to win that out. The 50 goes his way as well. Now it's up to Stizzy, who should be able to get the goal and does.
Not too bad either from them. I mean, you saw Arsenal finally get that breakaway there for Dignitas, but the demo from Evo, they basically do the same play that got dished out to them onto TSM and equalize the game as a whole. A minute 25 left on the clock. Dignitas getting back into things, but TSM off the kickoff, hyper aggressive in their challenges. Wavy up next around the corner here. Stizzy on no boost, just trying to slow Wavy down. And you're doing all you can at this point, but it's right back to what we've seen before. The bump plays, TSM taking shots at this net. This one doesn't find its way through, but that was insane to have even had the opportunity to float that close to target.
And I mean, just a phenomenal job right here and now to battle back into this one, showing that grit yet again. But Dignitas, you've been close multiple times. You got to finish the job. Kobe Bryant would say, job's not finished. And Dignitas, they've got to complete the comeback in this game. TSM doing their best job to get a second one on the board here. Hockey not able to get it past two, but it doesn't really matter much because the offensive pressure from TSM is still going to equate to much more than the defense can clear away. So if Evo doesn't get a solid touch here, it might spell trouble, but no, they actually do get a decent one, and it's going to be deep into the TSM half. We have to find a way to answer back, but only 10 seconds left. It's going to be now or never.
Wavy's going to take a shot. 5 left on the clock here. This one denied. Will the third? Yes, the post keeps it out. Almost a 0 second. All 4 shots kept out of that net, and the clear gives Dignitas one more chance to stop TSM from going to match point.
I literally don't think that could have been closer. Like, that was 3 chances right there to score at the last second. You don't typically get that many opportunities, but my goodness, TSM had all of them.
No, they really did. TSM is gonna, be a little bit frustrated that none of that was able to go on in. And now you have an open net here. Stizzy just air dribbled over everyone. I think that might have just been a rough last challenge. You saw Hockey go up there and it's just a missed challenge. It is free for Stizzy at that point. Dignitas finally their first win of the. That is a really, that is a big win there, and a great goal from Stizzy. I gotta give it to him. I've been waiting to see him finally find his way on through. He had a couple moments where he was, you know, making some good plays, but same can be said for Wavy and Creams working together to try and get around the defense and find their way on in fairly early here. No boost means Hockey's just got to take the 50s as they come. This is dead balled. Wavy up next to try and take it away. Evo, though, is the more successful. And as you count down these first 30 seconds, pretty back and forth, but Dignitas finally taking a couple of their own shots.
And right now, that was another dangerous chance. Dignitas potentially finding the first goal of the game there, but defense holding strong from TSM. Heading back the other way for Dignitas now. Oh, man, the redirect was there, but the cleanup's good either way. Stizzy does it again. And I will say, Stizzy, props to him. He got the overtime goal. He's also got, you know, this first goal in game number 4. So Stizzy doing a great job so far.
Oh, absolutely. This is also just a very high risk, high reward play from Dignitas that they sent up there, because Stizzy was last on defense, and he made the call that if he was going to push up, he was going to make that ball go through with no risk of a counterattack coming on out of that one. So huge props to Dignitas on that play. They get first on the board here in game number 4. And TSM forced to try and respond. They do a shot on the goal line. Arsenal keeps it out, and Arsenal actually carries it all the way through into the TSM half, but TSM immediately quick to transition back out. Nobody back. Wavy gotta just hope. And Hockey is there to bail him out. But yes, this is a much different Dignitas than we've seen before. A lot more aggressive on the offensive front too, working together to push their way on into that net.
And this was all Stizzy, just leaving it off the crossbar. Arsenal cleaning it up. Salute to Stizzy right now, playing out of his mind, trying to tie this series back up. We're only 90 seconds into it, though, so lots of time for TSM to get back into this one.
Definitely there is plenty of time for them to try and get back into this one. It's still very, very early, and that's what is scary about taking those early game leads, is that they are very easy to lose if you are not completely consistent from beginning to end here. So Dignitas looking to hold on to their 2-goal lead, maybe build off of it. TSM, though, looking to respond to both of those goals and try and tie things up. Awkward touch here, gets sent off into the corner around Evo. This one almost taken away, but Evo's touch just disrupts enough for Dignitas to take control, get a big clear.
Definitely the clear they needed. TSM doing a nice job, though, of keeping it in the Dignitas half. As I say that, Evo now with a chance. Gets sent to the corner, and TSM do a great job of booting this one away. Solid clear yet again for TSM.
Hockey just going to return that clear as well from the ceiling. Tries to go down and meets it. He gets a tiny touch off of it, allowing Wavy to have some room to work with here. But Dignitas, they have been so good at intercepting a lot of these attempts towards the backboard there. TSM have just not been given the space at all. So now they got to take a lot of their attempts on target just off the rip from that initial first touch there. And just over 2 minutes to go here. Another one off the side and out. TSM just not as successful as they were before with their free shots. Dignitas, same can't be said. They found themselves in a great position headed into these last 2 minutes with a 2-goal lead.
I will say right now, TSM looking a little bit shaky on the offensive and defensive end. Not been able to put much together on either side. Maybe this will be the difference maker here as the center comes out. Hockey's going to need to recenter it. He does, but nobody's there for the cleanup. That's going to be a big old boot. Stizzy gets the save and the clear at the same time.
Evo just taking his time off the ceiling too. This is almost a nasty solo play off of it. Hockey just completely stops it in its tracks. Just over a minute left to go. Dignitas you're going to start to see just a lot of crazy clears come out to no man's land to waste some time, and a couple follow-ups too. But TSM, they got to work together to really get around Dignitas this time. With less than a minute to go, it's a setup, it's high from Wavy, and unfortunately, that has been the name of the game for TSM in this game number 4. Lots of opportunities to shoot on target, but unfortunately for TSM, so many shots have gone either high or wide, and then that opportunity just completely gets away from them to get back into the game.
Yeah, precisely, as this one was dangerous. TSM had a nice chance, but still, the Dignitas defense holding exceptionally strong in this one. This is Dizzy. Lurking back, waiting. Arsenal taps this one all the way into the TSM half. And now this might be a chance. But they have to do it now if you're TSM. You cannot end this with 0 seconds, and they give themselves enough time. There we go. So TSM, they leave enough time on the board. 11 seconds is more than enough. They can make some interesting plays happen off the kickoff as well. I don't know. This might not be over yet.
No, it definitely is not over yet. We're going to see what TSM bring in off the kickoff here. They send Wavy up for it. 50's off to the side. Unfortunately, Dignitas are the ones to catch, and they actually find their way on in off of that as well. And that right there, it's going to end it. There's no way at this point. They are coming back into this one. Great shot there from Arsenal, deep from the mid. And 5 seconds left on the clock. This one completely falls away from TSM.
Yeah, no chance, no way. We got ourselves a 2-2 series, as that's going to be another one going in. Evo, adding insult to injury, really, in this game.
I just feel for them. I'm just staring in disbelief that TSM, those first 2 games, they looked so good and in control of Dignitas, and then Dignitas take this timeout, and I mean it's literally to a T what Arsenal said. It doesn't matter if you're winning by 5 or by 50. If a team takes the timeout and they use it, that is where they really seem to thrive, on that aggressive play style a little bit. But for now, TSM falls short in their last game here. This is an important one though. Swing game, game number 5. Whoever wins this claims match point, and momentum shifts in your favor.
Right now, TSM off the backs of a timeout, looking to change the tide of the last couple games, because it's been all Dignitas all the way, and oh my goodness, that was all crossbar, as that one barely doesn't go in for Dignitas early.
It is good pressure though from them. I do like what I'm seeing. Dignitas trying to get out of their own half on this one. Not quite able to. Here comes Hockey. Great touch to keep it out. Slow Dignitas down a little bit here. Stizzy over 1, trying to solo it by himself, just not enough. Unfortunately for him, TSM, they are all ready to go, but nobody was ready for Evo off of this one from the corner. And Dignitas first to lead.
Evo takes it in from the side and just able to guide it in, gets the bump for measure just to make sure no shenanigans happen. And Dignitas, I mean, hey, listen, you call a timeout on the TSM side, guess what? Dignitas get to use that time as well, and they get to talk things over and figure out how to keep what they've been doing working. And maybe that's exactly what happened, is Dignitas find themselves with the advantage now in the entire series. So they are officially ahead in this series. The thing is can you now keep the lead after this massive comeback?
Gonna find out here if that is the case. Creams did get a demo onto Evo in the background of things, but TSM regardless are gonna push into that Dignitas half here. Wavy, he spots Creams. Shot is gonna be taken, sent off by Arsenal though. Great last second save on it. I gotta give him props right there. Dignitas are gonna have gonna have to play a very accurate defensive game here, because TSM are going to take way more shots than we've seen in the past, and there is another one of them back-to-back follow-ups. This one goes through, TSM to tie.
Creams leaves it off. Hockey gets the bump onto Evo, and Wavy gets the cleanup. All 3 players doing their job from TSM. And, you know, we stated it. They called that timeout, and hopefully things will get clicking for this squad. Well, that looked a lot better right there.
It definitely did. That is a lot more connective and reminiscent over the times when TSM were much more in control. Creams passed off over to Hockey. This one to the backboard there. Completely pinballed back and forth. Tennis match vibes is what we're getting between the two. First person to really slow things down, though. Nobody's claimed that position yet. Arsenal taking his time here in the corner. 50s it forward, off to the backboard. Follow-up to be seen by Stizzy, but all three players from TSM back in time to keep this one out.
Creams up high. Ooh, left it off for Hockey, who was able to redirect that one down. Put a shot on target, but Arsenal was there. He read it correctly. Made sure that that one stopped right in its tracks. Wavy over to Creams. Sends it to the backboard, but straight to Stizzy. Straight to Evo, excuse me.
I'm just waiting to see who's going to be the first one to really take a crazy grip on control. This is a great attempt, though. This one got left by Evo. And now everybody has to race back. Arsenal's got no boost. You can't do anything to it. TSM take that lead back off of a Dignitas attempt to score. They all get held in their own. And a clear from Wavy just beats out the last line of defense.
Dignitas have to step up ASAP. Don't let what happened in game 2 happen again. Dignitas, you had the lead early. You let it slip yet again. TSM have done a great job of answering back every single game so far. Looking to make sure that they're solidified in that 3-2 series advantage after this one's said and done.
Yeah, it hasn't been too bad. TSM really just starting to get back into it. Not as dominant as we've seen in the past, but still, once they have that lead, they look pretty good and solid defensively, just holding Dignitas back and defending that with them, with everything that they have. I mean, Arsenal may mention to it in the interview. TSM is a very strong team on the defense. They know that it is going to be very difficult to get around them, so they are aware that this minute or so just to find one goal is probably what it's going to take the whole amount of time to find their way back into this one. Arsenal denied off by Creams. This one sent back into the orange, and 1 minute left. TSM continue to lead by 1.
How long is that lead going to stick for Dignitas? Able to get it out of their half for now. Evo looking for the clear. He's up high, but it gets stolen away, and could be unfortunate for this Dig roster, who are just trying to make something out of nothing, really. And in these last 30 seconds, this might be their best chance that they're going to get the rest of the way, but TSM's defense are going to get the clear one more time, send it back the other way, and if you're Dig, you got to just bite the bullet, and you don't have any more timeouts left, so now you're in a position where you more than likely have to win 2 games in a row in order to stay in this series.
This is a rough one, too, from Dignitas, because everybody just cheated up a little bit too far, and you can't be making mistakes like this late in the game when you're trying to play catch-up there. Everybody was just way too far and wide to get back onto it. TSM, though, do extend their lead by 2, 15 seconds on the clock, and like you said, you know, Dignitas, it's a little bit of a trail for them, but TSM, they look great for right now. 5 seconds left here before TSM gets ahead on over to match point and the opportunity to take Dignitas down for a chance in the grand finals.
TSM are back on track. So far,
they are just a unit, and it is so difficult to get past them right now. So TSM 1 win away from going up against RMC in the grand finals later today. If not, Dignitas looking to try and force game 7.
one chance to do it. TSM are going to do everything that they can to make sure that it ends right here. Dignitas already starting out with a solid 50. Put this one in front of the net, and Evo not able to punch it home, but Arsenal is.
What is going on here? I do all this talk up on the Dignitas defense. Wavy, unfortunately, would have had to have literally made 3 saves. Hockey would have had to have, I can't even think right now, but like recenter himself a little bit better. Recovered better than that, but holy Dignitas, what a way to come out in this next game here. It's a great way to respond. If you can build off of it, that's even better for you. And another shot almost on target from Evo. Little threatening, but Dignitas back to their old selves, able to take some time and some shots.
And I feel like we're seeing pretty drastic changes game to game with these squads. You know, some games Dignitas just come out looking like they're absolutely on 100, and then other games, you know, things look a little bit shaky. And you know, if Dignitas can keep this one up, they have the advantage right now in this game 6. If they can keep this advantage up, then they'll be smooth sailing. And because right now in this game number 6, I will say they've played a solid game all around. The defense has been there. The offense has been there. We're only a minute in. And guess what? The squad's got everything that it needs so far cooking in this game 6 to clutch it up.
They definitely do. Dignitas has made great strides of improvement here in this next game to really get back into things. Dizzy had a laser beam of a shot, and Creams managed to keep it out with just a simple touch. And TSM, although are still trailing by 1, you would think that that's not really a lot, but they have not been able to get out of their own half as quickly as they have in the past. Instead, Dignitas multiple times have had the space to follow each other up, create a couple easy, you know, passing plays if they wanted, and it's just rinse and repeat for this team time and time again. If you get put out into mid, Dignitas immediately are sent back. Arsenal over to Stizzy. It's just different for Dignitas right now. TSM are completely boxed in.
Got another shot coming in, this time from Arsenal. Wavy gets the save. Now it's Rizzo's, excuse me, Dizzy's turn. Saw the double Z, so he's the Z. Shout out Rizzo, by the way. Probably watching somewhere. Everybody in Rocket League is tuned in their own way, it feels like. Seen a lot of different people pop up in these chats so far throughout these 4 weekends, and it's an incredible thing to witness as the community come together in such an awesome way. And right now, Dignitas are trying to come together and force a game 7. It would be magical if it could happen. But only one way to do it. You got to hold on to the advantage you have right now in game 6.
You definitely do. That one goal is pretty much everything right now, just because TSM have done a great job of fending off everything from Dignitas. So if TSM are able to equalize at any point, it would be a really big challenge to re-extend that lead again.
Now Hockey. Up close and personal. Creams looking to get it past 1, but no, the defense from Dignitas, stagnant. They are holding the line, making sure that, guess what? It doesn't have to be pretty on offense as long as our defense is holding strong. And that's what Arsenal's trying to make sure stays the case through this one. A 1-0 advantage is going to be enough. They just have to hold on. But TSM have found so many opportunities when it feels like they shouldn't have any in certain times. Like, it feel like certain times Dignitas is playing so well, and then all of a sudden TSM will just get an opportunity and make the absolute most out of it. Dignitas need to make sure that that does not happen, and oh my goodness, Stizzy does get back, able to save this one away, keep this one at a 0-0 line. Arsenal looking for the nail in the coffin, and that might be it. Still 1:07 on the clock, but that looks really promising for Dig.
Actually disgusting amount of control there from Arsenal. He caught it to the backboard, double in. Great control all of the way around from Dignitas. A minute 7 on the clock. The way things have been going, yes, 2 goals actually would be nail in the coffin for TSM. It is just taking them way too long to respond to anything here. Cream's gonna try his hardest, but it really isn't enough. TSM falling behind in this one and 47 seconds away from forcing a game 7.
And remember that the winner of this will be moving on to face RMC in the grand finals. So if we go to that fabled game 7, RMC are going to have a lot of tape to have watched. You know, I'm sure they're sitting back enjoying the show, making some notes here or there. You know, they said they wanted to play Dig. They said they wanted the better practice. I don't know if Dig have really looked like the better squad so far, but may be able to force a game 7 is Dig to make that prediction from Reynolds happen. And as of right now, doesn't seem to be the case. And we're going to be heading to that fabled game 7. And I have no idea what to expect in this, honestly. I truly don't know what version of both teams is about to show up.
I really don't either. I feel like it has been just so heavy back and forth, this time in favor of Dignitas. Just missed that last game. Those 2 shots from Dignitas were extremely sound. But, oh man, I mean, if it goes the way it's been going, this would mean that TSM wins, but I feel like, I don't know. I honestly, I'm going TSM. For the historic meme of TSM finally taking Dignitas down, I mean, by all means, I dare you to try.
And try they will. That's for sure. This first goal is going to be absolutely huge to set the tone, set the momentum for this game. We've seen comebacks in games throughout this series, so just because you get the first goal, it's not going to be a definitive decider that it's going to be all said and done. Arsenal able to get the first one on the board for Dignitas, and that's the right foot this squad wanted to start off on.
I need y'all to know that I've never felt like the biggest traitor in my life than when I said TSM right now. Being a Dignitas person for so long, I feel bad.
That is true.
Dignitas on the board first, though. I mean, not unexpected. Wavy shot completely sent on. That's a big clear there from Stizzy. I got to hand it to him on that one. The power that came through and almost the angle on this one as well. But Dignitas coming in with the same force that they did in game number 6 here, which is a good sign if you're a Dignitas fan. You want that same level of aggression and force. And honestly, experience will also start to come into play a little bit here. You do still have to remember, you know, Arsenal is Arsenal. He's probably talking them through this, but Evo and Stizzy, 2 extremely mechanical and capable players, just continuing to build on that first lead.
Yeah, right now Dignitas are showing that they are made of something different right now. I mean, they were down 0-2 in this series at one time, and now they have the advantage in a game 7. Able to potentially win out 4-1 since going down 0-2 in games. And I mean, that's just incredible mental from this squad. But hold your horses, because the momentum might be shifting. Wavy getting this one, taking it all the way from the beautiful pass. Oh my goodness, the beautiful infield pass, and Wavy gonna be capping that one off.
That is a nasty redirect and very, very powerful as well. 119 kilometers. That is what that was. So Wavy definitely wanting to keep his team in this if possible, working together with his teammates to get through. TSM 1 on the board, trailing by 1 as well. Almost back by 2 as this one goes to the sidewall. Stizzy gonna try and keep this one in that blue half there. Very low on boost, but had the flip, didn't use it. He just left it there, and Evo up next. And I like this from Dignitas. Very consistent rotational pressure onto TSM, really forcing them to try and get out of their own half. And for now, they've been successful as far as defending, and I say that as the shot comes through. Eventually, taking 50 shots, yes, something was going to find its way in.
Evo gets it over one and beams it past the other. Dignitas now comfortably in the lead in this one. Plenty of time left on the clock, though, so I will say in a game 7, you're really never comfortable until that clock hits 0 and the ball drops down.
Totally agreed. There's no way that Dignitas should be letting up by any means in these next few minutes here. Creams coming through. The demo to send them home is actually pretty smart. You just want to continue to keep TSM boxed in their half and then force a lot of these shots on target. If you make TSM tired, it is a little bit harder for them to try and go through. But as soon as I say that, the second catched redirect from Wavy comes on in. This kid is a monster right now.
It's a beautiful catch right there. Great clear, great pass as well. Bringing us within 1. 5 goals halfway through this game 7. A lot of times game 7s are lower scoring, but right now these squads are bringing the fireworks for sure. It's gonna be Wavy getting back. He's gotta make sure that he's solid and that the Dignitas pressure isn't going to amount to too much right here and now because TSM on the back foot a little bit. Looking to potentially get this equalizer. They've got 2 minutes left to do it.
2 minutes. That's all that remains. Wavy trying to go for another redirect. That is just the name of the game for him right now. And Dignitas are catching on to that. They have stopped pretty much every attempt since that second shot coming through here. Wavy carries this one out to Hockey. Hockey wanted to go down. Great clear there from Arsenal out to a almost non-defended net. Creams, though, got back in time. This one pinches out from one end to the other. You can see all of Dignitas going up on the attack there. Evo's up next to follow. All three players are overcommitted. They're going for the high risk, high reward, and do manage to keep this in their possession for now. But you got to be careful in moments like that. You're low on boost, but now you're up by 2.
Arsenal, beautiful play. You saw the setup. The communication was there. Ars just left it off for Stizzy, who comes through with the cleanup, and now that 2-goal cushion is there for Dignitas, and this is where you gotta play defense. Arsenal said it earlier that the other squads, they've got good defense. Now it's your time, Ars. What you gonna do? How's that defense?
Let's see, a minute 17 on the clock here. Dignitas are leading, by 2 right now. Not scripted by any means. Hockey misses his redirect opportunity. Wavy's follow-up doesn't go through. Cream's gonna try and force the challenge on it. Low boost shot opportunity for Hockey, though. He spotted the gap. He found it, pushes his way through. TSM now only trail by 1.
Oh, man. Wouldn't expect this game to end any other way, honestly. Man, I thought Dignitas might be able to lock it down for the last 90 seconds, but no, TSM answer back, and a 1-goal game, game 7, over $1,000 on the line in this game alone. Oh man, if you weren't nervous before and you're on TSM, you sure are nervous now. You got 45 seconds to make some magic happen.
Yes, you definitely do. This is a very important moment here for TSM. You want to try and tie things up. If you can steal the game, that's great, but Dignitas on the other end of the field need to extend to guarantee themselves this win. They're going to try to right here. Arsenal's shot set off by Hockey. This one still kept in by Evo. The bump from Wavy makes this shot a little bit slower and more awkward. But Dignitas, even being awkward, even just taking these slow shots to anywhere, wastes so much time for TSM right now. This one's floating. 5 seconds on the clock here. No connect from Wavy. Hockey up next. You gotta keep this up. Wavy tries his best. Arsenal's attempt to kill the ball actually pops it up in the air, but this one still in play. A pop-up caught from Creams into the corner on this one. Hockey into the sky, taking his time here. It's floating towards the ground. This one's popped up. Hockey's gonna take a shot on net. It's sent off by Arsenal, and Dignitas have done it. They stopped TSM from doing what they did before.